You ever wish there was some magical button you could press and out of thin air, an endless supply of motivation would release throughout your body and fuel you to complete that to-do list instead of conveniently misplacing it? Yeah, sure would be nice. And be a lot faster than putting on Remember the Titans just to get you in the mood to do some laundry. Well, before you lose hope and dust off that DVD player, I have some news you may be interested in. There's some hot new research hitting the scientific streets which suggests this fantasy may be closer than we previously thought. Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another week of How to Health. My name is Kevin. I run liftimbalance.com, where we take aim at all things health and longevity and do it in an odd, weird, interesting, and highly sarcastic manner. Today, we are exploring the biological secrets behind our day-to-day motivation.
You can do it!
And how a unsuspected, yet totally suspected, culprit may be secretly sabotaging our drive to get shit done. You know, like our goals and stuff. Because without chasing those goals and stuff, this life gets pretty damn boring pretty damn fast. So sit back and let me take you on a journey into the biological pathways which govern this scarce resource. First exploring the areas of the brain in which this reward circuitry lies, then highlighting some emerging data unveiling how a common nefarious biological actor messes with it, then bringing this full circle, mapping out how you can hack your way to more motivation through lifestyle. So buckle up. Grab your Remember the Titans DVD and get ready to use it to dismantle anything that gets in the way from your more motivated tomorrow. But first, we begin at where exactly our motivation resides, or hides. The motivation center of the brain. A great deal of work in both rodents and humans has identified an area of the brain called the Nucleus Accumbens as the primary home for our reward circuitry, being one of the most prominent areas to light up when we embark on a quest for a goal, and energizing the effortful behavior which is required to succeed. Thus, it is suggestive that having a healthy and efficiently operating Nucleus Accumbens is essential for motivation to manifest into action. In fact, so much so that research has displayed alterations in Nucleus Accumbens function are implicated in psychopathological conditions that involve motivational deficits, such as depression. You don't say. And if we're being honest, and as we discussed thoroughly in this How to Bridge the Gap Between Motivation and Discipline video here, motivation is necessary and mandatory when it comes to obtaining a goal. Because without it, there is no beginning, there is no start, there is no movement. And that's why it is straight up critical. But, because you always know, there's a but. The facts of the matter are, when this area of the brain is not operating efficiently, there is a good chance our motivation isn't either. Begging the question, what could possibly be messing with the cellular and metabolic function of this Remember the Titans-like area of our brain? Funny you should ask. None other than longevity liability numero uno, of course. Chronic inflammation. Our chronic inflammation problem. Here's the thing. As a mandatory part of being open for biological business, aka being alive, our cells are constantly undergoing reactions. And with each reaction comes good, indifferent, and straight up nefarious byproducts. Byproducts that we humans, the most cognitively capable organisms on this beautiful floating rock, experience the most of in the most metabolically demanding part of our body, the part which delineates us from every other organism on this planet. This 5-pound mushy membrane in our cranial cabinet. How else do you think you figure out your morning Wordle in less than 3 tries? Now, one of those byproducts happens to be a prevalent type of metabolic waste released as a function of energy metabolism called oxidative species. And these happen to be key chemicals involved in the body's immune and inflammatory response. Here's the thing. These oxidative species are reactive and unstable, mainly because they have an unpaired electron. And guess what? They are on a straight up mission to find this unpaired electron a buddy, doing whatever they need to do, including stealing one. And when this happens, it often damages the victim cell in the process, setting the groundwork for dysfunction in the area. Yikes is right. Now, being the survival machines that we are, we have natural defenses which neutralize the potential dangerous reactive oxygen species, and they're called antioxidants. But if oxidative species production is high, like it often is in the brain, and we are not actively supporting these in-house antioxidant defense systems, we get ourselves into a sticky situation, resulting in an overabundance of cellular damage, triggering a chronic immune system response and a systemic state of inflammation, ultimately impairing neuronal function, and by association, impairing our ability to efficiently upregulate the motivation center of the brain. Thus, one of the best ways to keep these damaging molecules at bay and reducing inflammation is by giving this natural byproduct of neurometabolism what it's looking for, an electron, to neutralize itself and be on its way. This duty is mainly carried out by the aforementioned antioxidant, or a compound that can donate an electron without becoming unstable itself. And one of the main antioxidants that gets this done in our brain is the OG, original neuronal gangster, glutathione. But why take my word for it? Let's just see how it and this whole inflammatory theory plays out under the scrutiny of a controlled human and animal study. The new data. An international team of researchers sought to see if levels of reactive oxygen species neutralizing antioxidants in the brain has any association with human and animal motivation, specifically looking into whether the brain's most important antioxidant, glutathione, in the nucleus accumbens can directly influence motivation. To answer this question, researchers first use proton magnetic resonance spectroscopy on both male humans and rodent populations to see if levels of glutathione were even associated with the organism's motivation to perform effort-related tasks. They then leveraged the rodent model to take a deeper look into causality, exploring what happens to motivation when they block glutathione production in that area of the brain. Finally finishing off with observing the changes associated with adding a glutathione precursor and acetylcysteine to the rodent's water. I wonder if motivation really does come down to controlling inflammation. And if it does, that might explain the kind of unmotivated world we live in. Let's see what they found. First, they established that higher accumbal glutathione levels are predictive of better steady performance over time in effort-related tasks. This was observed in both humans and rodents, providing the first hints that something may be going on. What else? Second, they found that downregulating glutathione levels via injection of glutathione synthesis inhibitors in the nucleus accumbens of rodents impaired effort-based reward incentivized performance, aka made the rats less motivated. But get this, when they treated these rodents with the glutathione precursor and acetylcysteine, guess what? They saw increased accumbal glutathione levels in the rodents and improved performance in effort-based tasks. Whoa! So you're saying cellular and metabolic efficiency is cool for neuronal school, huh? Okay, maybe that was me saying that, but here's what the authors had to say. All in all, our data indicates a close association between glutathione levels and an individual's capacity to exert reward-incentivized behavior over time, suggesting that improved accumbal antioxidant function may be a feasible approach to boost motivation. Okay, so we were saying the same thing in a slightly different way. Now, they do add, and we always like to call out, research like this on the leading edge is always subject to limitations, such as a single gender small sample size, and the surprising fact that rodents aren't humans. So more research is always needed, and you have to take the information to date with a grain of salt. That being said, all of this does beg a very interesting question. If motivation is potentially a byproduct of efficient neuronal and antioxidant operations, what can we do in our everyday life to operate more efficiently and increase our levels of that motivation supporting antioxidant glutathione? We may just be able to retire that Remember the Titans DVD after all. Getting motivated through lifestyle. I just gotta say, I love this type of data because results like this are so damn empowering. How, you ask? Because of the fact that cellular and metabolic efficiency has now added our key goal-seeking mechanism to the list of things that it influences. And guess what modulates our cellular and metabolic efficiency? The things we do on a daily basis, aka something that we control, highlighting once again that the lifestyle that we live is one of, if not the most powerful modulator of health and longevity that we have, and proving that you are in a lot more control than you may think. So creating an internal environment that controls inflammation, limit stress, and promote organ system rest, regeneration, and detoxification may just be one of the top things we can do to stay driven and motivated on a consistent basis. Now, when it comes to that key antioxidant glutathione, we typically synthesize it in-house with the help of 3 amino acids, glutamine, glycine, and cysteine, along with a number of supporting micronutrients, making it not surprising that levels in the body have shown to be reduced by poor nutrition, environmental toxins, and stress, which may also be one of the reasons why there's a decline with age. So let's not wait till it's too late. I mean, prevention is the ultimate strategy, right? Here are some ways that you can both support glutathione production and decrease inflammation in your everyday life. First, one of the best ways to control both stress and inflammation is high-quality circadian aligned sleep. And here's why. Sleep is the time where your organs rest, regenerate, and upregulate detoxification pathways, especially in the brain, and in doing so, reducing inflammation and improving overall cognition. And get this, interestingly, chronic lack of sleep has been shown to cause hormone imbalance, oxidative stress, and decreased levels of glutathione. Thus, why we call it the foundation of all foundations, health and longevity. So let's not mess around with it. Right? Next, we have our fuel. Are you consuming food and beverages which promote cellular and metabolic efficiency, reducing inflammation and optimizing health, or doing the opposite? The ultra-processed Western diet is not only a one-way ticket to an inflamed internal state, but also a way to drive the metabolic dysfunction which impairs your systems even more. And guess what? The food you eat both directly and indirectly influences your ability to synthesize glutathione. High-quality amino acids and sulfur-containing foods such as beef, poultry, fish, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kale, along with garlic and onions, all set the body up in different ways for more antioxidant activity, and specifically glutathione. In addition, many phytonutrients and healthy fats found in high-quality plant and animal-based foods not only fight inflammation and the diseases of metabolic syndrome, but reduce stress in the process. I don't know about you, but sounds like a pretty good deal. 2 additional micronutrients which support the synthesis and preservation of glutathione are vitamin C and selenium. And if you need some help navigating the modern day food landscape, we have a full guide which will be linked below. Next, there is the moving of the badonkadonk. Ironically, one of the best ways to prevent inflammation is by performing acute activities that cause it. As a natural byproduct of moving ze badonkadonk, a number of bioactive compounds get secreted that decrease inflammation, dilate blood vessels, and reduce stress. And get this, research suggests that exercise is helpful in maintaining and increasing levels of antioxidants, especially glutathione, confirming once again that movement is in fact medicine. And a good goal to aim for is working up to the range of 65 to 85% max heart rate for 20 to 30 minutes a few times a week. Finally, other preventative mechanisms in the toolbox include grounding and earthing, which is the practice of reconnecting electrically to the earth. This has been shown to neutralize inflammatory free radicals and improve blood flow. And all you need to do is literally touch some earth. 20 minutes a day is a good minimum to strive for. Nasal breathing is another lever to pull, as simply breathing through your nose increases the secretion of nitric oxide, which dilates blood vessels, reduces stress, and improves overall cellular and metabolic efficiency. Who would have thunk? And lastly, we have stress management in the form of breathwork, meditation, and/or mindfulness. All of these have shown to drastically reduce sympathetic nervous system activation, stress, and inflammation, all being lifestyle-driven factors. Now, this list certainly isn't the end-all, be-all for interventions you can do to increase your odds, likelihood, and probability of cellular and metabolic efficiency and thus motivation, but it provides some good baselines and habits for directly and indirectly getting there. Remember, it's a journey, and everyone's starting point is different, so customize it to you and take your time. It's you versus you against yourself. Know your body is a complex, multifaceted system in which all components are in constant communication, relaying information from the external and internal world, swaying you, the organism, into a position of good cellular and metabolic operations, or the opposite. And listen, I get it. Finding a way to start and then become consistent is often the hardest part. So if you're particularly unmotivated at the moment, I highly recommend the aforementioned video on how to bridge the gap between motivation and discipline to help you get moving in the right direction, as it maps out how to maximize your cognitive reserves by leveraging routines. Because when it comes down to it, and even if we do our best to optimize it, motivation will probably always be more scarce than abundant. But now, knowing that we have a potential say via lifestyle habits in making this take action pathway fire more efficiently, it's just another reason to invest. That is, at least until Elon Musk creates a neurochip that just turns on motivation at the wink of an eye. Nope, not yet. Still up to you.